5-4 मिनट लेट हो गया है। ओके Okay, so hello everyone. Good afternoon, not good afternoon, actually good evening to all of you. And we have very beautiful, very talented student present in front of us who really wanted to get into a college and finally she got that college and that is no one else. But I remember, अभी मैं फिर से वापस से बोलूँगी मैंने शायद पहले वाले इंटरव्यू में बोला था कि I used to call you what? You remember what I used to call?
Vanishka.
Yeah, what I used to
Vanishka.
call you? Vanishka, right? And then, मतलब पहले तो starting of the classes, I used to call you only Vanishka, Vanishka, Vanishka. So we have Vanshika here, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So first, share me your feeling. How you're feeling right now? बाकी तो बातें होते रहेगी, but बताओ अभी feeling कैसा कैसा feel कर रहे हो?
To be honest, it took me 2 days to process that. Yeah, I'm finally into a
Getting
college.
into it. Yes, finally getting the
Um,
college.
yeah, and I'm obviously very relieved, and I am excited to start the new journey. And I know it will be difficult, it will be good, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, you should definitely look forward to it. It happens. पहले तो सभी को वेलकम भी मैं बोल देती हूँ, मैंने वेलकम बोला नहीं किसी को, जितने भी देख रहे हो यहाँ पे सारे सभी को वेलकम। एंड जनरली होता है क्या कि हम सारे इतने इस प्रोसेस में एंटर कर जाते हैं कि हम भूल जाते हैं कि देर इज अ सेल्फ, दैट इज देर इज अ सेल्फ जो कि रेस्ट चाहता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वंस यू स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एग्जामिनेशन, दैट इज CUET PG, फिर उसके बाद क्या होता है, आप एग्जामिनेशन के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हो, यू स्टार्टेड रिवाइजिंग थिंग्स एंड देन यू गिव एग्जामिनेशन, यू वेट फॉर आंसर की, यू वेट फॉर रिजल्ट एंड देन द होल काउंसलिंग प्रोसेस स्टार्ट्स। सो ये इस बीच में काम कैसे किया खुद को आपने? लाइक वर
Yeah.
यू काम और वर यू हाइपर?
See, I was hyper, and I know everybody out there is hyper
आई नो,
because we put in so much lot of hard work, and we are constantly on a high alert. When Charles Darwin said that it is survival of fittest, it is actually survival of fittest.
आई नो, आई नो।
So you have to be mentally calm, physically calm, and I was obviously hyperactive. But what I do is I plan. Whenever I plan, I am in a mental peace. So I was constantly planning plan A, plan B. You have to be realistic, and you
Hmm.
have to have so many plans.
Hmm.
Even at 2 to 43, I had a plan B.
Yes.
And even if I didn't get in college, I
Hmm.
will do this for that because this is important.
Yes. Planning is very important in your life. It's not just related to your academics or your career, but in general कोई भी चीजें आप उठाओगे अपने लाइफ में, प्लानिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हाँ, कुछ चीजें प्लान के अकॉर्डिंग काम करेगी, कुछ चीजें प्लान के अकॉर्डिंग नहीं काम करेगी, तो उसके लिए भी प्लान बना दिया जाएगा, है ना? सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द वेरी स्क्रैच, इज दैट कि अब यहाँ पे मैं तो जानती हूँ, फैकल्टीज भी हमारे कुछ जानते हैं, लेकिन बाकी के जो बच्चे लाइव देख रहे हैं उनके लिए आप बता दोगे एक बारी कि हाउ मच मार्क्स यू स्कोर्ड एंड वर देयर एनी चांसेस कि भाई हाँ इतने मार्क्स पे मुझे ये मिल सकता था, मिल गया वो तो वी नो, बट क्या ऐसा आपको लग रहा था? पहले आप मार्क्स बता दो और उसके बाद की फीलिंग बता दो। मार्क्स पता चल गया एंड देन व्हाट वर यू एक्सपेक्टिंग?
I got 243 out of
ओके।
300. And first, I was freaked out. Though I know I have language, and languages me, it is not easy to score. But
यस।
still, I was a bit freaked out, and I didn't know. Then Nehru Gram University,
हम्म।
they issued a topper list, and then I realized I ranked 35.
यस।
When I saw that I ranked 35 and I am general, so I know you have 39 seats for them. So
हम्म।
I know I'll get in. But
हम्म।
even after knowing that I'll get in, I
ओके।
don't know. I thought I will not get in.
आई नो, आई नो, आई नो, आई नो। वो आपका सेफ पता है कि भाई इतने सीट्स है लेकिन मेरा सेफ स्कोर है, बट फिर भी व्हाट इफ, व्हाट इफ, व्हाट इफ
Yeah.
दिस विल हैपन, इफ दैट विल हैपन, पता नहीं चीजें वर्कआउट करेगी कि नहीं करेगी। आई नो, आई नो।
Even in the 2 days of document verification, I don't know why I was feeling that there will be some issue because we are so traumatized with all this ordeal of revising, learning, appearing
आई
for
नो,
exam, and then they
with
will
that
throw
feeling
things
of
like
competition, with that
assessment.
feeling of competition, to be honest.
Exactly. Everything is so cutthroat. So I was so nervous. I'm still nervous. I just want to get into the college, just go there and be seated and study at this point.
ओके ओके सो सी she was the one जो कि टॉप 50 में थी हमारी 243 she got and she finally got the college of her wish. अच्छा आप एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंट मुझे बता रहे थे related to your wish if you are comfortable sharing here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, I am a hardcore planner. So before studying and before doing everything, what I did is I took a piece of paper and wrote that I want to obviously top CUET PG and to get into Ramjas College. And finally, I actually got into Ramjas College. And being a rank 35, I consider myself that yeah, I did good. Like now I can finally accept that yeah, my hard work paid off. So yeah, manifest,
Hmm.
wish for it, and work for it. Work for it is the key because I know I have given 7 hours, 8 hours. Last 2 days were like 10 hours. I
Hmm.
was studying for 11 hours. So
Hmm.
yeah, I put the hard work, but yes,
Hmm.
please wish, please hope for it and
Hmm.
work for it.
Hmm. आई नो एंड देन यू डिसाइडेड कि चलो अब छोड़ो डिसाइडेड का तो छोड़ो अब फाइनली यू कैन टेक ब्रेथ लाइक आराम से
Mhm.
सांस ले सकते फील भी होगा अब आपका सांस नाउ देयर इज अ वन क्वेश्चन फॉर there is one question asked by Astha that she got 198 general category. Is there any chance? Yes, बच्चे there is actually a chance. But आपको शायद सेकेंड राउंड के लिए भी वेट करना पड़ जाए बिकॉज अभी के लिए तो जो 200 के ऊपर वाले हैं या 210 के ऊपर वाले हैं उनके लिए अभी सेफ चल रहा है. ऑन दी अदर हैंड इफ यू वांट टू गो फॉर द अदर यूनिवर्सिटी दैट इज बीएचयू में आपको आराम से मिल जाएगा. डीयू में भी मिल जाएगा. लेकिन इफ यू आर थिंकिंग दैट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट विद दिस कैटेगरी यू आर गोइंग टू गेट टॉप 5 कॉलेज देन इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू बट यू आर गोइंग टू हैव इट राइट. आपको ये मिल जाएगी आप सेफ हो. ओके. वन थिंग इज दैट कि मैंने ये पिछली बारी भी आपसे पूछा था वंशिका एंड दिस टाइम ऑल्सो आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क क्योंकि पिछली बार इट वॉज जस्ट रिलेटेड टू द स्कोर इट वॉज नॉट जस्ट रिलेटेड टू द स्कोर बट गेटिंग इन टू द कॉलेज ऑल्सो कि क्या होता है कि बच्चे को एक एक बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि हमारा सिलेबस जो है पहले तो सिलेबस समझने में कंफ्यूजन होता है बिकॉज वी नो दैट कि सिलेबस इज जस्ट ऑफ 2 पेजेस राइट. इट इज 2 पेजेस पीडीएफ में आपका है जो कि आपको सिलेबस को डिफाइन कर देता है. But to understand that syllabus itself is a big task. How you understood that syllabus of 2 page?
Yeah, actually, the syllabus is very deceptive.
Hmm.
And there are so many subtopics in it.
Hmm.
First, do the research.
Hmm.
Open the syllabus, see it, and then go to Wikipedia, go to Google, go to YouTube
Hmm.
channel, and search about it. Make a whole list that what subtopics are there, what you have to prepare. Again, make a short notes of the important writers, their work. We are doing for CUET-PG. It is not UGC net. You don't have to go in depth.
Hmm.
Just know the important stuff, the
Hmm.
important surface area first. That what kind of movements they can ask and see. CUET-PG is very unpredictable. I can testify for that. But
Yes.
again, you have to work for it. It is very lengthy. English is very lengthy. At the end of the day, like when the next day my exam was, I was not
Hmm.
sure. I was like, अभी तो बहुत सारा रह रहा है because
I know.
that what English is. You can never
Yes.
complete it. But yes, you
Exactly.
can work smartly. You can, you know, uh, what you saturate it. That
Yes.
these are the important stuff. These are you can leave for later. But yeah,
Yeah.
saturation is very important in this subject.
It is very important. So the first step was of course getting into the syllabus to understand the syllabus, to actually understand the units, and then later on you divide these units into sub units, and then you understand that कि किस तरीके से आप पढ़ने वाले हो ये सारे sub units को. The next thing is that when you start completing the syllabus, you know that कि हाँ चलो ये syllabus है, but जब आप पढ़ने बैठते हो तो most of the syllabus आपके हाथ से फिसलने लग जाता है. It generally gets out of your hand, right? So how you manage with it, because we know that कि there are a lot of units and a lot of sub units in literature, और इन कोई भी specific subject की आप बात कर लोगे तो बहुत सारे units and sub units होते हैं और बहुत ज्यादा vast होते हैं. We know that कि we need to cover all the important writers, we need to cover all the important events, but getting to know that important writers and events, और वो पता है कि एक तो है नहीं और ये भी पता है कि वो 100 भी नहीं है, 100 से ज्यादा है, तो how you were managing things at that point in time, how you were able to complete your syllabus?
As I told, as I'm repeatedly repeating that I'm a planner. So what I used to do that day one, I'll do
Hmm.
the history of English. And
Hmm.
even in the day one, I was like, in the first part of the day, I'll just do the like. Let's take the example of postmodernization. So
Hmm.
उसमें first जो characteristics है, I used to study that. then
Okay.
we go to the writers, and
Okay.
then we go to the works of the writers.
Hmm.
So when you plan everything, you are set. You don't waste
Yes.
your time. You don't waste anything. You are just, I know I have to complete this at within this time period. I'll do that.
Okay, so you started with what? You started with British, or you started with Indian, or you started with what? Theory,
I
criticism,
started with British history because British history is so
base.
so long.
Yeah,
The
it's
eras
so
are
long,
so
and
big.
plus ये आपका बेस बनाता है for those who don't know, because इसमें आपका भर भर के it's not just related to getting to know Shakespeare or getting to know your Marlowe or University Wits or Dickens or any such, because वो क्या होता है ना, आप varieties of genre देखते हो, step by step
Even
चीजें
they
होती हैं.
come very
Yes,
very last.
yes,
If we
yes,
talk about Dickens and all, first of all, there is Beowulf and Leighton
yes,
and Viking invasion. You have to
exactly.
actually learn the history of Britain
Yeah,
first.
yeah. तो वो आपका बेस बनाता है, एंड देन आफ्टर ब्रिटिशर वी कैन से दैट कि इंडियन राइटिंग इज, इंडियन लिटरेचर जनरली देखा जाए, नॉट जस्ट इंडियन राइटिंग, इंडियन लिटरेचर इज सेफ टू स्टार्ट विथ.
Yeah. See, Indian literature is a whole different thing.
हम्म.
In the last, when we talk about colonialization, then they merge. But first of all, it is very different. You can start with it if you
हम्म.
want to, minimize it. You can even start with translation and all if you want to, check the boxes. But
यस.
according to me, I wanted to do it with a pattern. So that's why I
ओके.
started with the history, then movements, and
ओके.
then
ओके.
like that. Also, it is the truth that history, the British history has the most weightage, and
यस.
Indian also have it, but they usually prefer to the English history.
Yes, yes, because अगर आप देखोगे तो इंडियन में max to max 15 questions are there, but when it comes to Britishers, then they have 30, at least 30 questions as far as I know, as far as I have analyzed the previous year questions. Okay, so
So
after,
the one I appeared with, there was no Charles Dickens and there was no T.S. Eliot. I was so
I know
confused.
बहुत सारे मेजर राइटर प्लस थ्योरी गायब,
Yeah,
ओनली थ्योरी के नाम पे उन्होंने एक क्वेश्चन इको क्रिटिसिज्म का पूछा था, बट
yeah, that
दैट
was
इज
so disappointing.
एक्सेप्शन है. वो पिछला वाले जो जो ये ईयर आपका है ना, वो एक्सेप्शन है कि उसमें मेजर
Hmm.
राइटर्स को छोड़ दिया गया, मेजर थ्योरीज को छोड़ दिया, क्रिटिसिज्म के मेजर क्रिटिसिज्म को छोड़ दिया गया, बट इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन विद द कमिंग ईयर्स, राइट?
I
कैसा
just
है कि
believe.
25 में, ऑफ कोर्स, कि 25 में नहीं पूछा गया तो 26 में नहीं आएगा, 27 में नहीं आएगा, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला है.
Exactly. Ma'am, you remember the 2024 paper was heavy on translation, and there was
Yes, it
hardly
was.
any question on translation in
Yeah.
2025.
And also awards, like awards इस बारी पूछे हैं. I don't remember that कि उतने.
They asked the Nobel Prize for the women first, women who
Yes,
won the
yes,
Nobel
yes,
Prize.
yes. So I remember translation की तो 3 question as far as I remember, like there was matching the row or column kind of thing जो कि आपका था. तो वो translation studies plus awards वगैरह भी ना 2024 में बहुत ज्यादा पूछा गया था और 25 में गायब हो गया था. That's the
Mhm.
reason why CUET PG is very unpredictable. You cannot predict what is going to come, what is going to not come. Now, after completing the syllabus, the biggest thing and the hardest thing, which I believe, is to revise. कि भाई पढ़ तो लिया, like I say, 50% is completing your syllabus and 50% is revising what you have just read or what you have just completed. तो वो फिर कैसे हुआ revision? How you were managing completing the syllabus plus revision?
See, we have units, and that is really the key. When
Hmm.
you have unit, once you have completed, supposedly you completed the romantic era, give
Hmm.
2 days for revision.
Yes.
After that, start the next era. But
Hmm.
before starting the revision, first revise romantic era, then
Yeah.
revise that.
Okay.
You have to do repeated revision. Or
Yes.
everything is about memory and
Yeah.
memorization, and revision is the key for it.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
was
That is.
repeatedly revising. I was repeatedly solving PYQs. I
Hmm.
solved UGC net PYQs because they are CVT PG are not available that much. So I was even doing UGC net
Yeah.
PYQs just for revision purposes.
I know. So क्योंकि questions क्या होते हैं ना, ये in fact yesterday we had an interview with one of the student Kritika, and she was also saying the same thing कि मैंने UGC के भी किया है questions, मैंने GATE और TGT PGT भी मैंने questions उठा के कर लिए थे. तो उससे मेरा क्या हुआ, practice हुआ, because things were going into a cycle. Like जो question 10 साल पहले UGC नेट में पूछा गया, वो कुछ कुछ questions अब CUET PG में आ रहे. Okay, so after revision you give your examination. Now, one thing also that I want to ask is like, is it okay if student जो है वो syllabus complete कर ले then PYQ करे, या फिर syllabus complete करते करते वो PYQs को भी analyze करे?
Thing is, if you think that ki मेरा हो गया एक टॉपिक and I'll give PYQ, you are sorely mistaken. You will get
Okay.
into a shock because
Okay.
the PYQ is full of syllabus, and after
Yes.
completing the unit, you cannot expect to solve everything.
Yes.
Personally, what I think is when supposedly you completed, let's say feminism.
Hmm.
So go on Google, search feminism PYQs, and
Hmm.
only do the unit specific PYQs. But
Okay.
if you want to do the PYQs whole previous year paper question,
You feel
please
very
complete the syllabus
alienated.
first.
Yes. वो आप सिर्फ एलियनेटेड ही फील नहीं करो, आपको लगेगा कि आपने कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं है, जो पढ़े भी रहोगे उसको वो भी आपको लगेगा
Yeah,
कि ये भी नहीं
that is
पढ़ा।
a dangerous feeling when you
Yes.
are studying because that will put you into the rock bottom that you don't know anything and you will start freaking out and you have to keep the peace of mind for
Oh,
studying.
yeah. ओके सो एंड वन मोर क्वेश्चन दैट आई वांट कि यहाँ पे जो भी बच्चे सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं कि 26 के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे वो सिर्फ जाने, बल्कि द वन हु आर आल्सो गोइंग विद द काउंसलिंग प्रोसेस, आई वांट यू लाइक कि एक कॉन्साइज वे में ना, एक छोटे से वे में आप मुझे ये बता दो कि लाइक आफ्टर गिविंग द एग्जामिनेशन, गेटिंग द आंसर की एंड गेटिंग इनटू द रिजल्ट, वो सारी चीजें मतलब कि गेटिंग इनटू द रिजल्ट उसके बाद का क्या क्या प्रोसेस था, लाइक कि उसके
Okay.
बाद क्या चीजें हुई, रिजल्ट आया एंड देन व्हाट द थिंग्स दैट वर हैपनिंग इन काउंसलिंग।
Okay, the moment I got my result, I have to wait, then wait, then wait, then wait, and then wait for DU to release their notification of the seat allocation. After submitting I filled the form of DU only because I knew that I wanted to get into the Delhi University. But again, you have JNU, and there are so many options: BHU, JNU, and other
फ्लू
central.
हैदराबाद।
Yeah,
हम्म।
exactly. So please fill the form very carefully because you don't want it to miss
हम्म।
after you have paid or anything. Because
हम्म।
document verification में बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत आ रही है बच्चों को.
आई नो।
So I don't want anyone to feel that way. So please fill your document very carefully. 10th
हम्म।
class, 12th class, everything. After that, again, you have to wait. After waiting, they will
हम्म।
release a notification that everything is out. So
हम्म।
pay the fees. What I did was it took me 2 days for my document verification. Then I froze the seat because I wanted Ramjas only. So
ओके।
yes, but there is an option if you don't want that college, pay the fees and then wait for the second round.
ओके सो आप
Yeah.
फी रिफंडेबल, यू नो इफ यू नो दैट, कि आप बता सकते हो कि ये फी रिफंडेबल होती है, बिकॉज ये 2024 तक तो थी कि आप फी, अगर आप
Okay.
सीट लॉक कर रहे हो एंड देन इफ यू आर गोइंग विथ अनदर कॉलेज तो आपको फी रिफंड हो जाती है।
I don't think so because this time this notification popped up that if you
हम्म।
once sold the seat, then
हम्म।
you cannot take in the other DU university. I'm not
ओके
sure about the others university, but in
ओके ओके
you cannot like as I have choose Ramjas, I cannot go in Hindu now
ओके
because
आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट या
also I wanted to use this platform to help some students see it is really very hard because I got in and you must be thinking isko to mil gaya isko kya bata, but I know कि it is really very hard once you didn't get into a college.
आई नो।
Oh, wait,
नो नो
but
वी आर गेटिंग योर वॉइस।
what I want to say is if you're thinking that you won't be able to get in, see, prioritize your needs. See if you
यस।
want to prioritize your time or if you want to prioritize your the education and low quality cheap fees and good quality education, then take a year gap.
या
I am saying year gap is really very tough. It is mentally very tough. But once you get in, once you achieve your thing, you are really satisfied. But
या
again, if you think your time is really important, see, we are all just 20 and we have time. We can take a breath and we can take a year gap. But still, if you don't want to take that, prioritize that. What do you want to become? If you want to become a professor, then personally, what I suggest is you should go into the DU government colleges. But if you think
यस
your time is really important, you can even go to private colleges. But just chill, things will work out.
Yeah, it
They
will work.
always do.
If it will work, definitely it will work out for sure. Okay, so the last question that I'm, first of all, congratulations again. First of all, last of all, actually, congratulations, many congratulations. I'm very proud as a teacher, to be honest.
Thank
And
you.
most welcome. And if you can just tell me how this platform helped you, and at the same time, how you're going to celebrate it, like with your friends, with your family.
Sure. Actually, see, I used to, when I was freaking out, I looked on the YouTube for videos. To be
Hmm.
honest, your page, especially I studied with you. So,
Hmm.
as an English student, I really had problem with no bad pronunciation, but I didn't
Okay.
piece this here. And I
Okay.
actually commented it a lot that this is the page which has the best pronunciation because it irritates you. I don't know why, but
I
it
know,
just
I know.
irritates you.
The bad pronunciation and the spelling. It
Yeah.
just,
So
yeah.
and you actually used presentations and also it was really good. The PYQ session is really very
Hmm.
helping because what I
Hmm.
noticed that when I used to give online PYQs in
Hmm.
the quiz mode, whenever
Hmm.
I get a wrong answer now and
Hmm.
someone gives the right answer, the right
Hmm.
answer was copied in my mind. That
Okay.
because I did a mistake, that answer is now copied in my mind, the right one. So it was
Yes.
really helpful, the interactive activities and
Yes.
all the presentation and all. And I really want to thank you for that too.
Thank you. No, thank you actually. And so happy for you. I hope that you get every success and every आप सारे जितने भी आपने wish list बनाए हैं या जितने भी aim है आपकी सारी की सारी जो है वो fulfill करोगे ही आप, which I am quite sure about. And thank you so much for giving and guiding our students and our people also. Thank you so much and many many congratulations and all the best for your future. You're going to do it, whatever you want to.
Thank you. It really means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the students watching this interview. Thank you to all.